Alrighty, hello everyone. My name is Renee Scuddy, and I'm back with my co-host Liz Cullinan for another episode of Walking in Our Shoes. Today we are talking to you about our experiences growing up in church and with our confirmation. So this weekend, I'll start with that. So I was confirmed 10 years ago. I'm 26. I was confirmed when I was 16. Um,
That's just not right. Not
yeah, I know
already.
time flies, doesn't it?
Do you remember what happened when they wanted us to literally have communion brought to us? Do you remember that?
Yeah, they offered
They were just
to,
very, no, they were very like pushing it.
yeah. They were very insistent on bringing communion to our seats so we didn't have to walk to the altar. It's like, no, 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 no.
Nah, no, no, no.
We can walk to the altar. We're fine with that. It's all right.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they were
there's no
just, I
need.
think, I think Miss Betty was just concerned because we both had CP.
Yeah, I think so, which is, to be fair, I appreciate the concern and I
Me
think,
too. I'm appreciating of the concern, but
however, we are capable of walking to the altar. Yes.
oh my God. Do you
So,
remember when you were making your name, when you're doing your name, did you have a
yeah.
hard time finding it or doing it?
No, I think they gave us a list of options, if I remember correctly. Like these are all the possible options that you could have for your confirmation name.
Really?
Yeah, I think I remember them giving us a list.
They never gave me a list.
Yeah, I think so. 'Cause
That's that's
yep,
very strange.
really.
They never gave me a list.
So how did you come up with yours?
So when I was getting confirmed all those years ago, my my great aunt was a Sister of Mercy at the time. So it
As in
was,
like an ordained nun or
yeah, ordained nun.
okay.
So she passed away that past year. So when I was in ninth grade, she passed away.
Okay.
And then I had no idea what I was going to do. And then my great aunt Connie, who's also a Sister of Mercy, who's still alive, suggested that I take her name.
Mary.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
The hardest part though is I actually really, 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 really wanted my great aunt to be my sponsor.
So who sponsored you then?
A family friend.
Gotcha. That's really sweet though. Really sad, but really sweet.
Yeah. The hardest part is that she really wanted to be there for my confirmation,
But
but she had to do a retreat.
but I mean, hey, it still means, still means something to you.
The funniest part was like I I forgot how long that ceremony was going to be.
I think
Do you
it's like
remember?
an hour to an hour and a half long mass because they do a mass on top of it and then you're confirmed.
Yeah. And for all of my family, especially mine, what we do is we do a confirmation party.
I don't remember doing a confirmation party.
No, your family didn't.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, no.
Yeah. I was surprised there was not very, very many family members from your side.
Really?
On your side, there was no family members
No, I had family there.
besides your mom and dad and your brother.
I'm pretty sure I had a few other family members. I think I had a few aunts there.
I didn't see any.
I think they were sitting closer to the back,
Oh, that'll do
so
it.
that could be why you didn't see them.
Yeah. The funniest part was that during that time, I originally was going to go and sleep in my bedroom. That my mom said, "No, you're not," because my godfather was going to be there.
Right.
So my uncle, as I said, my godfather, he was there. He watched it. He was there. He took pictures of me trying to talk to the bishop.
Aw.
And you understand how the pictures look when I was just like in the middle of a sentence with my mouth open.
Yeah,
So it was like, what the hell?
but that's cute though. I
Yeah,
mean, it's we've talked about it before, but it's such a big deal and it's worth celebrating because first of all, it's a sacrament. Second of all, it's it's a personal uh commitment to faith. That's why it's such a big deal because before you're even confirmed, before the mass even starts, one of the first things you do, other than introduce yourself to the congregation as
yeah,
your, chosen confirmation name, is you renew your baptismal vows. And you
yeah,
take that step on your own behalf instead of your godparents who take that step on your behalf when you're initially baptized as a baby.
yep,
That's why it's such a big deal, and that's why it's celebrated the way that it is, because it is a personal step of faith, and it's basically you're taking that step for yourself.
yeah.
That's why it means so much.
Do you remember how long that stupid mouse was? Like the mask, like how it just like every day you have to do like this. You have to do so many like practices. Remember that? The
As a
practice
part of, oh
before the
yeah,
confirmation. Do you remember?
oh yeah, the it's like a kind of like a dress rehearsal for like the
So
act.
many hours of that.
But I mean, so here's the thing, I can understand that because they want you to know what to do when the actual mass comes. I understand that.
But they could do it, I don't know, during the week.
I mean, I guess, but you're available when you're available.
And like after that, you could go for like do you remember if we got breakfast? Or the remember that?
I think we either got breakfast or we got dinner.
No, we got breakfast. Because I got breakfast at mine.
So that was our experience. For me, I chose the confirmation name Charity. I'm not sure exactly what led me to choose that name, but I mean it's just something, interesting and new. And I I liked the I guess you could say the difference, like just something being like the uniqueness, I guess. There we go, the uniqueness of the name.
Yeah.
Um, but Lizzie sponsored me that year. Was that was
How did you ask me again?
um I think you asked me.
No, you asked me.
Really? See, I don't remember that. I remember you asking me if I needed a sponsor.
Well, I asked that just for curiosity. And then after I asked that, you asked me to be your sponsor.
Yeah, specific details like that are a little fuzzy after 10 years, but
Yeah, pretty much.
you know, but I mean, in the larger scope of the episode, that's kind of
Yeah,
beside the point, but um so
yeah,
Lizzie was my sponsor that year. And that was that was a hard year for me. That was actually a very hard
yeah.
2 years. Because that's a 2 year program. So it's not
Oh
just
my
1 year.
God.
It's not just 1 year of classes and then you're confirmed. It's 2 years of classes and then you have to do, well, then you do the Stations of the Cross, and then you do
Oh,
then you're doing a Seder meal. So then you're doing the rehearsals for the mass and all of that, and then you're doing the official, I guess you could say, mass when you're actually confirmed. So it's a 2 year
yeah,
process. Um, but those were really hard 2 years for me, emotionally. And if you're family or friends and you're watching this and you know enough about me to know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. Um,
yep.
so. let's just leave it at that. Um,
I think the hardest part, sorry for interrupting, but I think the
yeah.
hardest part for me for those 2 years was just those classes. It's the same class over and over and over again.
Well, no, it has a purpose though.
Well, I know that, but it's just we had uh we had the same teacher over and over.
I had a different teacher between one and two.
Well, we had the same one.
Really?
And I'm not saying the name because
Really?
you know her.
I
Well,
had a different teacher for each year
I had the different teacher, but it was like the same. I had the same.
material.
Yeah, so we had to take two classes your first year, right? Do you remember?
Oh yeah.
And I had the same teacher for those two subjects.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah,
And
now I remember.
then when you had it again, your second year, you had the same teacher twice.
See, no, I don't remember having the same teacher. I had two different teachers.
Do you remember where we were placed? Like in the pew? Do you remember
We
that?
were front row.
No, you weren't. I
Yes, we
wasn't
were.
for mine. I was
Uh,
put right back in the middle
so I remember that I was front row for ease of accessibility for
for
me.
both of us.
For yeah, for both of us. Um, so at least for me, we were front row, front and center.
Yeah.
Which I mean turned out to be great because for accessibility reasons, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I do appreciate that. Um,
Yeah. When I got
but
mine, I was so flippin' nervous.
yeah, so I was too because well, for a different reason. So I was talking to my first year teacher at that point before the actual mass started.
Mm.
Um, and he said, I'd stop by to say, thank you for everything, the simple things, thank you for
Yeah.
everything, goodbye, So yeah, so he said, I told the priest to ask you all of his questions because you know this better than anybody I've ever taught. And I went into the mass very, very nervous
Because of what he said.
and I took it literally because I'm 16 years old. I don't know what to think. And I'm sitting front row, front and center, watching the priest like a hawk, hoping that he doesn't choose me because I don't want to be the center of attention.
Same here.
Um,
Oh, God.
but I mean, all jokes and, all that
Yeah.
aside, that was a fantastic day. Um, and
You still have that necklace I gave you?
I think so, yeah. It's in my jewelry box.
Yeah. I actually
Um,
tried to get that engraved with your
and
confirmation name.
yeah, and that I think really, if there was ever a defining moment in our friendship, it would be that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Um, but I still have the letters too.
Hmm?
I still have, the letters that you're asked to write on the retreat and everything. Um,
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
yeah, I still have the letters. It's one from you, one from my mom, and one from my dad.
One thing I
Um,
found out about mine was that I don't remember this, but I think mom tried to get my great aunt to give me a letter. I don't remember
okay.
if I got it. She wanted to. My great aunt wanted to.
Did she just not have the time or wasn't able to?
I don't know.
I mean, that's unfortunate though.
She really wanted to though, from what I
I
was told.
mean, so it's a unique perspective to have family who are ordained members in the faith and who can give you that perspective of this is, you're celebrating a sacrament,
Yeah,
um and to offer you that perspective is special.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate that she either wasn't able to or didn't have the time or whatever the case was, but I mean, it's a gift to have that unique perspective.
She's
Um,
she's like my spiritual guide a lot. I am.
does she still?
Mhm.
Oh, that is so fantastic.
I told her what's been going on at my church with the incense, and she's like, "Yeah, some churches do that a lot."
Yeah, and I mean there's ways around that, but I mean, you know, at
Yeah.
least, make them aware of like, hey, this is causing, issues with like X, Y, and Z. And some people are understanding, but
This priest isn't.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So it was so funny. So my brother Daniel and my brother Stephen, when they both got confirmed, my brother Stephen, I believe, took the confirmation naming
Alexander,
Alexander. Yeah.
what about
Oh,
Daniel?
I think it was Francis. Maybe it was the other way around. I don't remember.
Okay,
So yeah.
there you go.
So Daniel had a funny idea. He thought about having me as his sponsor.
Those are our stories.
Yep.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I do not.
Alrighty, that is the end of this episode. That is our story. As always, if you guys have any other questions, if you have topic suggestions, um, if you want to see us discuss anything in particular, send us an email, send us a text message, leave us questions in the comments. So, our next episode, which we will film on the 23rd,
Yes.
um, we'll be discussing our experiences at the movies. So keep an eye out for that. Until next time, my name's Renee Scuddy.
I'm Elizabeth Cullinan.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in the next episode. Take care.